YouTube, looking real natural here. It's been a while. It's been probably over a month since I've done an extensive video. It's like 4:15 in the morning. Everyone in the house is sound asleep, and I am finally able to record something. I've been trying to record this for the past couple of days, but in between just being busy and then re-recording because I don't like the quality of the video I'm doing, this is it. I have been missing in action for quite some time, and I'm saying this like I have 100 million followers. But for the few that do watch my videos, I've been missing in action for a little bit. And I'm currently actually up this morning because today is the first day that we will be doing school at home because of the whole quarantine situation. So I'm kind of getting up early, getting things prepared for the kiddies. Because I'm still kind of somewhat confused about how certain things are going to be done. Everything is basically online now, but I have 2 children who are supposed to be schooling at the same time. So I'm kind of confused about how their teacher will like me to do that. So I'm up early, just trying to get some things situated so that I'm prepared. But yes, so anyway, I have in fact been missing in action for quite some time. You see that? This is from makeup. Let's see if I can get that out because it looks disgusting. One sec. I hate makeup buildup in my baby hairs. But anyway, so I've been missing because I had a baby. Yay. I don't even know if you all can just tell in the way like I'm talking and the way, look at this makeup buildup. Because I just tried to record a video and do makeup, and I thought I washed it out of my hair, but I didn't. But anyway, I don't know if you all can just tell, but like I have more energy and all of that, and I don't feel like I'm suffocating and dying. It's because I had a baby. And my son, my beautiful son, he was born on March 2nd. And so I just stepped away from social media for a little bit, just so that, you know, I could bond with baby, get everybody on a schedule, on a routine, get the children acclimated to the baby. So I didn't record anything for a while. And I know I never actually officially announced being pregnant on any social media platform, but that was very intentional. Reason being is because I was very, very ill during my pregnancy. Some may be familiar, some may not, but I had hyperemesis. And if you ever just have a little bit of free time, please feel free to, you know, look that up and do research. I'm not gonna really get into deep with it because I'm not a doctor. I'm just gonna, you know, talk about things that I experienced when I had it. This is my 3rd time having hyperemesis in my pregnancies, and it was just a lot to deal with. It was very debilitating for me, and so because of that, I just decided not to, you know, announce my pregnancy, because a lot of people, if you have never dealt with it, you kinda, I'm not gonna say that you wouldn't understand, but to an extent you wouldn't. Like, a lot of people like to compare it to morning sickness, but like it can be, I'm telling you, it's the furthest thing from morning sickness. Like, this is, if I could compare it to that, it's just like morning sickness times 10. Like, this illness, it makes you want to have morning sickness. Like, that's how bad it is. And you know, in this pregnancy, I would say it probably was the absolute worst out of the 3 times that I've had it. Maybe because I'm older, or maybe because from me having it previously, my body just isn't as strong. But this definitely was like the absolute worst time. I lost so much weight. I want to say maybe between 20 to 30 pounds. I could not keep any foods down whatsoever for months. I would eat something, I swear it wouldn't even hit my stomach and it would just come right back up. I could not even eat water. I could not even drink water. There were times with my own saliva I could not even digest. And so I would just sit there and let spit drain out my mouth. Or I would have spit cups, which was disgusting. But the thought of digesting my own spit, like I could not do because it would come right back up. I couldn't even take baths and I couldn't take showers because the water made me sick. I ended up getting gestational diabetes along with being anemic and having low iron. Like it just was the worst. I was bedridden. I couldn't get out of bed, so my body got weak because I was in bed for months on end. I started losing, muscle mass because I wasn't doing anything. So when I tell you it was the absolute worst, it was the absolute worst. So me and my husband, we decided that we wanted to not keep it to ourselves, but yeah, really keep it to ourselves because, like, again, why am I using this restaurant? If you are not familiar with it, then you're not gonna really understand it. And we did not want to spend a whole bunch of time explaining the illness, explaining what's going on, when our energy could be put elsewhere. So we decided to not really share too much of it, which honestly, in my opinion, made the situation so much better because it brought us closer together and it helped us work through and deal with stuff concerning with the pregnancy and other things just between us two and not allowing a whole bunch of outside interference. It was basically like, it's me and you at the end of the day. However this comes, it comes, and we're going to work through it. So, with that being said, I'm just so relieved that it's over now. I have made the personal decision to no longer have any children because having hyperemesis for the third time, I can't talk today, having hyperemesis for the third time was 3 times too many, and you never know if you're going to get it in another pregnancy again. So we just decided, no more. With that being said, I'm just very blessed to have baby boy here. It's kind of like he completed our whole family. We do have a blended family. I have 1 daughter from a previous relationship. He has 2 sons from a previous relationship. And together with baby, that makes 3 that we have together. So family just feels complete. The birth. When I made it to the finish line, I thought that everything was going to be smooth sailing because after all of the hospitalizations I had, after all of the being sick I had, vomiting, not being able to eat, not being able to drink, and then along with the regular pregnancy blues, I was like, birth is going to be a breeze, finna be a breeze, and it was anything but. So this year, everybody knows this was leap year, so we had the 29th. I vowed to myself I cannot have my baby on the 29th because I don't want my baby to have a birthday every 4 years. This is the mental illness with me. So on the 29th, I did nothing. I had my own business. I do lashes and makeup. I closed my books this day just so I would not exert any energy because I was already 39 weeks and I barely could make it to 39 weeks. So when the 29th passed, no sign of baby, I said, cool. So March 1st, I had 2 clients, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. I finished my first client. After my first client, I'm telling my husband, babe, I don't really feel baby moving. I think something is wrong. So He already thinks I'm a hypochondriac. So he's just like, calm down. The baby's probably asleep. It's almost time to have the baby. He probably doesn't even have any room. So I'm just like, okay, I won't overreact. But then I started having contractions. They were getting intense and they were not stopping. So I'm sitting here like, I really don't want to go to the hospital if it's a false alarm, because for the past few weeks I've been going to the hospital because it's been false alarms. And so I'm just sitting here like, let me just breathe through the contractions. Let me just lay down. I got one more client today. Let me lay down to that client, take my time with that client, and then boom. Got a few more days until my due date because I was doing the 4th. So my husband, he goes to the laundromat because we had this big ass cover that needed to be washed and it couldn't be washed in our washing machine. So I'm like, baby, you need to get back. Contractions are not stopping. I think we need to go to the hospital. So we get everything packed. We send our children off to my mom's house. We get to the hospital. We explain to the hospital everything that's going on. So they get me hooked up so that they can just monitor everything. So again, I'm like 39 weeks and I want to say 4 or 5 days at this point. So they're like, okay, well, you're only 2 centimeters dilated. So normally they would let you go at this point because that's not enough to actually start birthing. But they said that the baby's heart rate kept dipping, kept dipping. So they was like, because baby's heart rate is dipping and the issues that you've had throughout your pregnancy, because I had gestational diabetes and I was like high risk for it. Like my glucose levels were so off the charts that I had to be severely monitored. So they were like, we're gonna go ahead and admit you, we're having a baby. So I'm just like shocked, but not shocked at the same time. So they don't seem too frantic about baby's heart rate dipping. So I'm just like, okay, cool, everything should be good. So they get me hooked up, get my IVs going and all of that. So because baby's heart rate keeps dipping, they want to induce me and they kind of want to get through labor fast. So they put some balloon thing behind my cervix to help me dilate to 4 centimeters. When they did that, it was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life. It felt like consistent cramps from a period, like times 10. So the point of it was to, again, help me dilate to 4. And then apparently once I got to 4 centimeters, it was supposed to like pop or something or come out on its own. So it didn't. And even though I got to 4 centimeters, it didn't pop on its own or come out on its own. So the nurse is like, well, you can pull it out yourself. We would prefer for you to do it. And I'm like, well, I'm not medically trained, so I prefer for you to do it. So anyway, they showed me how to pull it out, and they said they wanted me to pull it out myself because it is painful, and I'm the only person that can gauge my own pain. So I pulled it out. But once I started going up in centimeters and they already started Pitocin, contractions started coming. So I requested an epidural, which I had always maintained I was going to get anyway. So the woman comes in, the anesthesiologist, she comes in and she starts explaining, like, you know, all of the precautions with an epidural, which I'm familiar with. So she gets me set up, but the way that she has me posturing to have the epidural, I already know that it's not gonna go right. I've had an epidural too many times before. I know how this goes. So I had to get my epidural done 2 times because she did not have me postured correctly. The most painful thing ever, a needle in your spine is not a good time. And she basically blamed it on me, like, you're not sitting right. Let's put a pillow under this butt cheek so that she'll sit up straight. And I'm just sitting here like, ma'am, it's because of how you have me on this bed and how you have me postured. You're not gonna get me straight. So when she put the needle in the second time, I just was like, you know what? It is working. And that was my fault because I should have told her, like, you're not doing it correctly. But I was just exhausted at that point and I did not want my pain to get any worse than what it was. So they get everything attached to me and I lay down. Initially, I could feel the epidural a little bit. The contractions are not as bad. But as time goes on, I'm sitting here like, damn, I can really feel these contractions. Like, what's going on? So they had this machine, of course, where you press your epidural and it comes through. And I'm pressing and I'm pressing, but I'm just like, I still can feel the contractions. Like, what's going on? Maybe the machine is broke. So we're looking into the machine that the epidural is connected to, and it has like a lock on it telling me it's not time for me to get any more of the medicine yet, which was weird because in past pregnancies, I mean, I was clicking it until it was time to change the bag and they didn't care at all. So we're asking the anesthesiologist, like, is something wrong with the machine? Like, what's going on? So she's like, well, it has fentanyl in it, and fentanyl is a very serious drug. I'm familiar with it because I used to work at a pain management center. And so because it has fentanyl in it, they have to monitor how much of my epidural I get. And so I'm sitting here like, why would y'all put fentanyl in my epidural? I've never heard of that before, but whatever. So basically, the epidural is not working because they're limiting how much of it I'm getting. On top of that, because of the fentanyl, I'm like now itching profusely. I'm itching on my hair, I'm itching everywhere, I'm itching on my legs, and then they have these like weight things on my legs that are hot and that are doing this. Because with me having epidural, when I can't move my legs, and so they want to keep the blood flowing so that I don't form blood clots. So I'm like mentally combusting right now and having a meltdown because I'm hot, I'm itchy, and then my contractions are coming and I feel them. So I'm like panicking and freaking out at this point. I'm like crying, I'm itching, I'm like, get somebody in here now. So the anesthesiologist keeps coming in, but she's really not any help. She's like, nothing that I can really do. We can try to put more in here. We can't make it any stronger than what it is. I'm just like, I'm over it at this point. Like, my husband sees it. My mom is there. She sees it. But it just was a mess. So again, we said, I told you baby's heart rate was dipping. So we could hear it on the monitor, but there was times where the heart rate, it fluctuated. You could hear it, you couldn't. And it, you know, it was kind of scary. After a while, we lost baby's heartbeat on the monitor completely. So they decided to put in an internal monitor, which was like 3 times the size of this damn toothbrush. I was just like, bruh, I can't take you all inserting anything else into my vajayjay. Because when they inserted the catheter, I felt that because the epidural was not working. And I don't know if they inserted it wrong, but it felt like it was being tugged on. And feeling like something is tugging on your urethra is not fun. So they put the internal monitor in and they pick up the baby's heartbeat. But still, it keeps dipping. So they're coming in every 5 seconds, turn this way, turn that way, move this way, move that way. And I'm just panicking because I'm just like, is my baby okay? And I'm in excruciating pain, like, and nobody's really saying too much. So eventually they were just like, you know what? You're 9 centimeters. That's just going to have to be enough. We have to get baby out. So I'm scared because my whole assumption was you always have to be 10 in order to actually push. So all of these nurses and doctors come in and they're like, listen, we can't even take any breaks in between pushing. You just need to push, push, push until baby comes out. So I'm freaking out because I'm just like, wait, my epidural wasn't working. And I've always had an epidural. So I'm just like, I have no intention on pushing this baby out and feeling it. So I just try to be brave. I'm like, I gotta get my baby out of me. Once you do this, Jessica, you don't have to do it again. Just keep that in mind. Like, whenever I feel like I'm going to encounter something painful, my mentality is you only have to encounter it one time. Once you're done, it's done. And that's kind of like how I deal with things. And that's what helps me get through it without panicking. Like when I get tattoos and stuff like that, once you get through it, you don't have to do it again. So I'm just in here like, all right, you got it, Jessica, you can do it. So I'm pushing, but they're like, no breaks, push. As soon as you stop pushing, breathe in and out, push again, keep pushing. And like, I'm panicking mentally because I can feel the head come out. I can feel the shoulders come, and I'm just like, bruh, Mama JJ is never going to be the same again. Now I know how men feel when they actually see it. Like, it was crazy because I feel all of my whole entire sun come out. And I had never felt that before. So it was definitely a mindfuck. But me being able to feel him helped me push faster, because in the past with having an epidural, it slowed down the whole pushing process because I couldn't feel anything from the waist down. So I'm not gonna lie, like, not having an epidural actually was beneficial in that way. Well, not having it work, because I did have it and it just wasn't working. So baby came out, and I didn't get the whole baby initially. They had to take him to make sure he was okay. But once they realized he was good, he was fine, they gave him to me, he was perfect. I just think that he probably benefited more being on the outside than the inside. He just wasn't thriving after a while on the inside. So yeah, that birthing experience was so crazy. And if the sickness during my pregnancy did not seal the deal with not wanting to have any more children, the delivery definitely did. I never want to go through that again in life. Like, it was so stressful because it was just like the unknown that there's a possibility you cannot be leaving this hospital with this baby. Like, and that's scary because it just was like, after everything I went through and y'all telling me something is wrong and something may happen to the baby, like, that's what was going on through my mind. But I'm just so glad, I had my husband there, because he's more calm, cool, and collective than me. And even if he felt like something is wrong, he's not going to show it, because he knows that he has to be there to reassure me. So just having him there definitely helped. It gave me a peace of mind. And I'm just glad it's over. I'm very glad it's over. So, but yes, I just felt like I owed it to you all to just, explain why I have not been present. Initially, we were going to kind of vlog my whole pregnancy experience, my delivery. I'm actually going to show a small clip in here of when I attempted to record the whole delivery process, and my husband was like, we're not doing it. This is going to be intimate and private, just like everything else has been. And yeah, so, but it was for the better, because just when you keep things between you and your partner, it's just like a higher level of understanding, of support between one another. It was amazing in regards to that. But yeah, I'm just happy it's over with, and I can be my normal self again, because being pregnant for me is like an outer body experience. I'm not myself when I'm pregnant because of all of the issues that I had. So I just feel like I can breathe again. I can be myself again. I can move how I used to move again. I just am happier. Some women, they glow and are beautiful when they're pregnant. Me, myself, that's not me. That's not me. I'm no good to anyone when I'm pregnant. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my little birth story. I will be posting more videos frequently again now that I'm 100% better. So stay tuned for those videos, and I will see you next time. Bye. Babe. Babe. Mike. Yeah. Mike. Look at me. Look at me. I'm not finding it funny. I told you we was gonna record. I don't know if we're in extra labor yet, but we're gonna see. How many weeks am I? 39 weeks and how many days? If Wednesday would have made 40 weeks, then we are for 39 weeks and 4 days. I don't know why they asked you to leave the room. So they asked my husband to leave the room. Why they asked me questions for the second time. I thought that was normal procedure, so I didn't think nothing of it. But apparently he's offended. You offended, babe? No. You said it's scary.
I'm just curious.
Oh, curious. I don't know. He said it looked like I've been doing drugs because my eyes is red, but I made the mistake of doing my lashes with my contacts, and so my eyes are very irritated. So, but I don't do illicit drugs. Well, hold on. Is illicit drugs all drugs, or I don't do drugs? So, hopefully we get some action because I am tired. Are you ready, babe? Mike, please pep up for my video.
What video, baby?
I'm going to make this YouTube video.
I'm not going to YouTube video, baby.
Why?
For what?
Then we'll have to edit this out.
Edit what?
We're gonna share a birth story.
For what reason?
Okay, we're gonna edit that one out.
Huh?
Because that's what people did. They shared their birth story. You don't want to share a birth story?
I'm not into sharing no stories about birth, baby. That's personal.
Alright, okay. I'm turning the camera off now.